Yes. They can hear us, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they can. I can see the levels. Hi, everyone. If anyone's even watching, probably not.
It's late.
It's late. I've done a bad job advertising this DisasterCast. We missed our stream on Tuesday, and I didn't tweet out about it because I was so busy.
Yep, and there's a hurricane coming.
It is. Life is a mess for all of us right now.
So, hey, VOD watchers.
Years from now, you'll be like, wow, remember that time they got hit by a hurricane?
Yeah. Love to the VOD.
Ooh. This just started, too, which is extra fun to start minutes before we start doing this. But I took some cough medicine, so I should be fine. Welcome to DisasterCast. I'm Conlan Rose. I am the, quote, executive producer, right?
Yeah.
Executive producer, tech paladin of Nat Disaster. I play Bracket, Rainn, Altuk, and Greg. Right? Is that all my characters?
Good job.
And I'm in every episode.
Yeah?
I'm the only person in every episode.
In every episode?
No, you missed a session.
I don't think I ever actually missed a session.
Also,
I'm going to miss a session and then I didn't.
Also, I'm in every DisasterCast.
Oh, sure.
So I'm in every bit of content we produce.
Yeah, true.
It's only because I'm the only one who knows how to run OBS fully.
Yeah.
Brian knows how, but every time he's like, hey, can you come over and double check nothing's broken? Because I don't know how to fix it.
I genuinely don't think that my internet connection could handle
That's the problem, yeah.
Screaming, so...
That's because you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But, you.
Oh, hi, I'm Vicky. I play, let's see, Nock Tavora. I play...
You're doing last names, too?
Lemon.
Half my characters don't have last names.
Merriweather. That's her last name, Lemon Merriweather. I play, Andrish Bryrick, Andy. And I play his Farseer. So yeah, I remember all my characters' last names. Fuck you, cum.
I play Bracket, whose actual name is Urem Jim Bob Brickle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Greg had a last name, honestly.
I don't think so. Didn't see.
His name is Gregory, though, not just Greg.
Honestly, I bet that's a fake name.
No, it's his real name. He's good at like being a rogue, but not that good.
He's just a strange dude. He doesn't really have much going on.
He was trying to prove to parents that he could have a job. That was kind of his deal.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I can have a job.
I'm becomes a fucking criminal.
Thief.
We don't know Rainn's last name.
Yeah, that's true.
Zista's last daughter. I don't know.
She hasn't, like, adopted a last name?
No.
Okay.
She's never adopted a last name. She wants to know what her real name is.
Yeah. And Altuk? Do you know Altuk's last name?
I do not remember.
Okay, so I think technically his last name is not Farseer, but Farseer is their title, so it's like...
I'm not sure what Altuk's actual title is. Because it's technically Prince Altuk.
Yes.
And I think it's of something, but I know I've been told it.
I know I'm the heir of Strictex Minor.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm very sure Callum has told me.
I feel like you might be Strictex Major? Strictex Major? Maybe?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
But I think it's like, you know how there's houses? I think he said of something, and I never wrote that shit down.
Yeah, I do not remember, like...
Because he's gone into the structure way... He likes writing lore.
Well, yeah, he's also the dungeon master.
Yeah.
So,
but he did tell me this stuff, I just straight up did not write it down.
It's in my notes, which I do not have with me, because I'm not in my home, so...
Don't ignore the man with the other computer over here.
Don't ignore the man? Okay, hi Conlan.
I'm just trying to get some views.
What's up?
Twitch, terminating some service. I'm not breaking any rules.
Okay. So in the past, 2 months since we have done a DisasterCast, what has happened?
Okay, well first, I'm going to give excuses for why we haven't done a DisasterCast.
Sure.
Initial one, there's a scheduling conflict that came up at the last minute, so we canceled. This is very bright. Brian, why don't you use dark mode on shit? Yeah. Use dark mode. Oh, it's not signed in. Whatever, dark theme. That's much better. That was not glare. So our first one was scheduling error. Then I had camp. Then other crap. Then we got sick. Like, me and Vicky have been sick for a solid month.
Like 2 weeks at least. I've been sick since, like, the beginning of August, basically.
Yeah.
Because I went to a friend's house, and I got sick.
Yeah. Just before camp, I had an upper respiratory thing. And before then, we just had a bunch of scheduling crap in the way. We kept on trying to do one, and just random shit would get in the way.
Yeah. And so, of course, because I was sick, I then got a sinus infection.
I also had
you know how it goes.
Upper respiratory infection of some kind. No clue what. I didn't go to a doctor. I feel better-ish now. I still have a cough, but like that's it.
Yeah, I feel human.
And then we've missed a couple Rainn of the Draco-Tyrant episodes.
Yep.
Our most recent one was
we ended up missing 2 people.
We ended up missing 2 people. One of them had emergency. The other one had work or canceled, and then a third one kind of never gave us an answer, so we weren't 100% sure if they were going to play. Yeah. So that made Cal be like, we have no answers, so we're going to reschedule for next week. And then there's a couple episodes prior that we missed. That was supposed to be our episode 3 that we did not announce we did all the tweets for it, and then we just didn't go. We've done that for a couple of DisasterCasts, and just because stuff keeps coming out. Like last week, we were going to do DisasterCast, but we were sick. And I decided that as I was feeling a little bit better, to go hang out with friends, since Vicky was kind of feeling ill. And I was like, whatever, I'm going to go hang out with friends. And I never tweeted that we weren't going to do it. And I promoted it at both of our sessions that week.
Whoops.
So I felt bad about that one. But we're here. This is episode 23. Been trying to do this for 2 months.
Yeah. And we're back in the same place as session 22. So, you know.
Yeah. So that's our July 4th session where we have fireworks going on just in the background.
And now we have a hurricane going on in the background. And earlier there were fireworks, which I don't get. I don't know.
Everyone's this is like festival weekend in where we live.
Yes. Very good say.
Barely. It doesn't matter. Like, I think they're aware somewhere that we've said what town we live in.
Probably.
We haven't given them specifics of where we live in that place, but it is. We have a festival
to do.
Yeah, we have a festival in our town.
Yeah.
And everyone else has also decided to do an event because we're watching a dog. You can't see the dog, but there is a dog between us.
She's hanging out.
She's destroying a chew toy.
Good for her, honestly.
It's what she does. It's better than her freaking out, which is fine by me. But we're going to walk, and like every other street, there's a party happening. And like every third party, there's a food truck. And we're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's a little bit strange to see such large groupings of people during a resurgence of cases. Can I just say?
Admittedly, Milford, I think they've reported that Milford's like 85% vaccinated, though.
Still not great. Don't love it.
Especially because you can still have a breakthrough case with the Delta.
Yes, exactly. So I don't love the uptick. Gonna be honest.
Oh, I'm sure this will be a super spreader weekend. I guarantee in 2 weeks, numbers in this area will go up.
Especially because of the festival, people come in from out of town.
And they're gonna spread it, and then they're gonna spread to their towns.
They're gonna spread to their towns.
If everyone in Milford didn't have the Delta variant, which I don't think there was a lot of people who were sick in Milford overall. But if other people from other towns come from like New York and Bridgeport, where it's getting worse, and they bring it here. Now people in Milford will get sick.
Yeah. It's just, not the wisest.
Yay, COVID. One day we'll have to play sessions in person, but sadly one of our players is moving. That's also another thing. One of our players is moving. That's the dog we're watching. They're actually at a wedding.
Yep.
This is actually probably the last weekend we're going to spend a large quantity of time with her, which is good that we get to. Sucks for doing it during a fucking hurricane. So she's going to be all panicked tomorrow because she can't go on walks.
To do the Vicky squat in Casey's chair. It's happening.
But yeah, it's been a mess. In theory, on September 2nd, I'm gonna look at a calendar because I think that's a Thursday.
I think that was the day we were thinking about playing. Yeah.
September 2nd, in theory, is session 30 of the Heist campaign.
It's written in paper, not in stone.
not even it's in pencil on
paper. We penciled it in.
We're hoping everyone's schedules match up. We think they will.
Love to play some heist nonsense.
Because Briner has it written. Like, he's already written to that point.
Yeah, luckily,
I have to
he's been able to catch up a bit.
So I just yeah, but now I have to submit stuff that I was supposed to write.
Yeah, get on that.
This week is my week. I've pretty much left my job.
Yes.
So this week is my week of job applications, doing crap I've not had time to do at all. Because my old job was killing me. So that's also why I've been tired every weekend. I've just been going to sleep instead. I'm going to bed early even.
Yep.
Instead of doing DisasterCast. As well as do some Nat Disaster crap that I have not done. Some writing, both for Callum's campaign, Brian's campaign, some other crap I need to write. We finalized some information that I'm not going to talk about here, because we do spoilers here, but I don't think I'm going to do it yet.
I don't even think I know what you're talking about.
I know. I do wish I grabbed a beer though before we started. I did not do that. And if I get up, the dog will get. I'm fucked. There's not even Malibu next to my fucking desk like there normally is. Fuck.
Oh no.
I can't even make a half-hearted mixed drink. I'm just gonna have to finish this Power C, and we might intermission for 10 minutes, a little bit in, just so that way we can go run and grab drinks.
I want you to know that my Moon app gave me a notification, and it says, I'm almost full.
Cool, won't see you. It's a fucking hurricane.
Yeah, I have an app that tracks the moon phases, because I'm a fucking nerd. So,
I can't see the progress of
classic
absolute devastation.
Classic app content.
So what has happened in our session since then? Let's see what sessions we've done.
Yeah, what session?
That's why I wanted to bring this list up. That's the only reason I wanted to do it. So since our last DisasterCast, we've played Rainn of the Draco-Tyrant Session 2.
Quite a lot.
Session 3 and Session 4.
Yeah.
We've
Didn't we just play Session
5? No, Session 5 got canceled.
Session 5 got canceled. Okay.
We've done a super secret sexy session with Callum.
Uh-huh.
And done Session 29 of our Heist campaign.
Nice.
Now.
Yeah. I really loved the Heist stuff. That's been really fun.
Getting back into Rainn is fun. I can't do a voice right now because my voice is dead.
It's really nice. So the day of Session 29, I was excited all day long because of the fact that I knew I'd be able to play Andy. So that's just a good feeling. And I know, here's the thing. I think I will feel that exact same way. If we went a month without Rainn of the Draco-Tyrant, I think I would feel the same way about this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because we've played so much less of Rainn of the Draco-Tyrant, but I'm already really connected to them.
Oops, I just kicked the UPS.
Which part of that is because Callum loves to call me, and so we talk a lot about that campaign in particular, and so I've kind of developed this a bit, and I didn't really notice. I didn't really notice how much how much more developed they were than when we started. Basically, I feel a bit more I have a grasp on them, which is nice.
I have not fully figured out all the stuff. Besides,
I think honestly, when you talk about your character, you're gonna come up with shit. That's what's nice about these talks is because you talk about your character's motivation.
Well, I've been thinking about him in terms of, because there's one thing I don't know why it's always why I think about my characters, just because I think it's an asset I can think about myself faster than normal. Is especially the joke I made at one point where some people are they gay lovers. Mm-hmm. I'm Altuk probably he's bisexual, but rather is women. Mm-hmm. Is my decision, I think, on that character.
Okay.
Or at least if someone was into him who was differently gendered, he'd be I'll make this work.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say no. Because it would be I don't know, because it's a pride thing, probably, because he's a prideful person. Yeah. He's you think I'm hot? Very good.
Here's an interesting character beat. Do you think that Altuk has ever been in a serious relationship?
I want to think that during those year that the two Hiss and Altuck weren't spending time together, I think I'm gonna write that he was in like a 6-month long serious relationship.
Okay. Yeah.
With someone he probably shouldn't have been in a relationship with because he is the prince.
I think for Hiss, I think that Hiss has never been in a real relationship. I think that they thought they were in a real relationship. And it just turns out that that was not the case. Like, they were pretty sure that they were going steady with someone, and then they saw them kissing someone else at the football game. Basically, like, that type of thing. Where it's like, I thought, but we got milkshakes together.
Also, we got milkshakes together. I told you that was a date.
But you held my hand. Like, what?
I'll text in there. I explained to you that's what dates are.
To do that? Allowed to get a milkshake with a person and then kiss someone else? Like, that's the type of vibe.
I have a feeling that Altuck understands the dating scene completely.
Yeah, I don't
And his is just like, I don't get it. And Altuck's like, oh my god.
Because, like, okay, so honestly, in his life, that hasn't been their, like, main focus.
Yeah, why would it be?
Exactly. Like, they've been focusing on a lot of other shit.
I don't think Altuck cared in, like, when they were in school and stuff, but because they're in a military academy, it's not like you're hitting on the other girls in the military academy. Mm-hmm. They know you're the prince. They don't want anything to do with your dumb ass.
Or if they do, it's for the wrong ass.
Yeah, it's for power. So, like, he's like, no, I want someone who likes me. And the girls are like, but you're so rich. And he's like,
now I've lost interest.
Yeah, instantly interest is gone. He's like, because I bet that's why the person he dated during that 6 months, he probably went to a bar, not dressed in nice clothes, and met someone for him, and then they learned he was the prince afterwards.
No one knows your name.
Yeah, like he went to like an obscure bar where like maybe someone, if they thought about it, would recognize him, but like, he's just a dragonborn. Like he probably wore regular commoner's clothes. Because he's like, I'm tired of talking to people, and then being like, yes, Prince Altuck.
I honestly think
what's funny is he still probably brought, like, Todd was outside of that bar.
I think when Hith is not in their full dress, they probably get mistaken for a commoner.
More than Altuck, yeah.
And also because they don't look like a traditional dragonborn.
Yeah. They look like Mudblood a little bit.
They look like an elf. Almost like half elfy is how I
see that hero over there.
Absolutely.
Only because I recently possibly walked through a poison ivy, and just in case, I rather Purell my hand because I just itched my leg. I don't know if that was a normal itch or a
itch.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I'm gonna be smart and use a little bit of alcohol and the Purell to at least neutralize if it is, so I don't touch my face and then have poison ivy in my eyes. Like, luckily I'm a person who doesn't get that inflamed, but it gets red, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Because that's what happened to me a couple weeks ago. I got poison ivy on my leg, and it was just a little spot, and I knew where it was, because I felt it rush my leg, because I went to go pee in the woods, and I was like, this shouldn't have worn... I wore shorts because it was very hot out that day, and I just did not feel like wearing pants, and I had to crawl through a little bit of poison ivy. I'm like, okay, just be careful. And at one point, one of the plants popped up and touched my leg, and I was like, let's hope for the best on that one. I got home and had one red spot. I was like,
this is what happens when you're an outdoor boy. Because I'm an indoor boy. Nothing ever goes wrong.
Yeah, I put calamine on it. It went away, like, literally in a half an hour. Yeah. So, I am lucky. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't figured out all of Altuck's motivation besides even though he knows he will never be king, because he's a dragonborn and his father will outlive him, regardless of him.
Pretty much, definitely. I mean, it's possible. It's always possible that they could pass, but, like, it's very unlikely.
Yeah, they're a dragon.
Unless somebody comes in and slays them, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. But Altuck really, really badly wants to be king.
You know, I think we should do?
What?
I think we should find, like, a character question quiz.
I have them.
Yeah. We should find something that's, like, personality questions for your character.
Let's just Google one instead of...
Yeah.
Because I have a really long one. No.
Not in an interview? That's not us. Well, I mean, maybe you.
Not right now. Yeah, it's a little bit too easy.
What is your name?
Word 5. Questions to ask your... Oh my god, there's lots of things here. Fuck. Okay. What is a character interview?
Yeah, we know.
This has... Okay, this is clearly... This is part of a classroom activity.
So this is physical appearance. I know his physical appearance.
We've described them.
I've described them.
Is there actually... So this is the full list? Oh my god, there's so many breaks of who wrote this masterclass. Okay.
Okay. So that's physical appearance.
We know that. We already talked about that for both of them.
Background, lifestyle.
Okay, let's do that. Where are they born? On their respective really rich islands in a castle.
Yeah. Who are their parents?
The 2 most powerful dragons in all the land.
Where do they live? On a shitty boat.
Right now on a shitty boat. Before in extravagant castles. And before that, actually, technically, there's actually a step. Born in extravagant castles, lived there until they're old enough to go to school.
Yeah.
Lived in a boarding school for 15 years. Or, no, it's almost... Wow, it's almost like 18 years. Because what, our characters are 25, we determined?
Yeah. I think Callum said that the military experience is only like a 5-year thing. So we probably went to like a normal boarding school and then to the military.
But either way, they've been in boarding school.
For like our entire lives.
Yeah.
I feel like what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to them is probably good.
I don't know. That's a good question. We should search their name on Google. What would they find? You would find he's the prince of
yeah.
It'd be pretty obvious what you'd find. And you find his dating history too, because
Prince Altuk's favorite meals. What is Prince Altuk like in a girl?
He has no clue to not know he's Prince Altuk. I think it's his. Even though he's a very prideful person, he would like someone to find him funny before they know he's Prince. So that way they're not just like,
yeah, I think
like literally Azula in the beach episode.
I think as far as embarrassment for his, honestly, probably like school was probably pretty embarrassing for them. Like because they were probably talked down to a bit and also like weirdly sucked up to at the same time.
Because so they kids talked down to them and treated them garbage probably because they were already important.
Yeah, and then all of their
teachers sucked
so nice.
Practically sucked them off.
yeah. So
there's a reason why they had the highest scores ever in everything. Not just because
don't get it twisted. Hiss is smart.
No, they both tried their absolute asses off, but like prior to the end of the military academy, there's literally the whatever number they got was statistically impossible.
Yeah.
Like they got perfect scores. Like they earned probably like the 98th percentile of their scores, but everyone went, we're gonna sprinkle extra 6%.
Yeah, without Prince, Hiss still would have gotten a 4.0.
Yeah. I think both of them would have. Because we claim them both as very bright, very smart.
Yeah, and dedicated. And also Hiss is like very curious and eccentric.
They're both well educated, I think. Both our characters are pretty high. My character, I believe, has a high intelligence.
I think mine has a fairly high intelligence.
And yours has a higher wisdom.
Yes.
And is very wise.
And high-ass charisma.
Well, they're both paladins. They both have high charismas.
Okay, we talked about love. Biggest secret. I would not reveal that on a podcast.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
Characters work. Greatest regret. Ooh. These are really intense.
Yeah, this set is really, really intense.
Or do they have any bad habits? I bet Hiss bites their nails.
Altuk is just mean to people below him without trying. Like, he doesn't see them as lesser people. He was just taught how to speak to them that way.
Yeah.
Like, when he talks to Todd, he calls, like, Todd.
Yep.
Todd, I'm at frame.
I really hope that Callum has come up with a real name for that character.
Oh, I absolutely hope so, too.
I really hope so.
When he speaks to Todd that way, it's just because he was taught to. Todd is paid to serve him. And Altuk is super aware of that.
So fucked up.
The dude is paid. It's 1 year of very hard servitude.
Yeah.
With the risk of dying.
Yep.
I bet the best time to be a Todd was when we were in school.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're like, there's no risk.
Yeah, there's no risk.
There's no risk, and I get paid off for the rest of my life. Because that's essentially what we've written in game is you only take the job for a year. because you're going to be worked to death, essentially, almost to death. But in that year, you're going to earn enough to survive the rest of your life without having to work bare minimum. Like, maybe you'll get a part-time job at a bar just because you're bored, man. But, like, you live well, you get health care, you
can follow your dreams.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You get a fat sack of probably, like, 100,000 gold. Like, it's probably a stupid amount. Why am I forgetting the name of his assistant? His scribe. It's not Eurissa. Is it Eurissa?
I think it is Eurissa.
I'm good at this. Eurissa is paid less than the Todds are.
She's doing a really good job.
She has not torn it apart yet, though. I'm impressed. Good job, Dunkin Donuts. Just so you know, that coffee cup squeak toy you made, this dog eats rope.
Yeah.
We've watched her demolish a 2x4 in minutes. You can't tear this thing apart. You guys did a great job manufacturing it. Good job. You tested it with dogs. Because this is a dog that destroys things. Continuing, Eurissa, that's why he teaches Eurissa better. Is A, she's very educated. So like, because she's hired as a scribe, so she's a highly educated person. So she treats her. She's probably a little higher class, and she's paid less. And he's aware that she shouldn't be beaten to death, essentially. Because also she's the person keeping his history and his notes that he doesn't get a chance to write down. To be like, hey, by the way, did you remember this thing that we learned yesterday? And he'll be like, oh, thank you. That's very useful to the strategy we need to do. Thank you very much, Eurissa. Like, that's her job, is to... It's a secretary. It's a glorified secretary that I'm going to turn into a fucking wizard.
Because fuck it.
Yeah, because fuck you, Callum. I'm going to make you play more characters. You're going to make me play Eurissa, so it's fine.
She's going to be, like, a fucking glass, not even a cannon. She's going to be a glass, like, I don't know, blow dart gun, basically, at this level. Because we're kind of high level for her.
Oh, yeah.
So she should not be fighting.
No.
She should not be fighting. She could, like, identify stuff for us, though.
Yeah, that's what's useful. And then I have my, I forgot his name. The fucking, I'm forgetting the name of the fucking kid I'm teaching, my cousin.
Oh, shit. Nah.
I forget his name constantly. It's not important. Altuk does not care.
For this.
Altuk
not here.
It was told to bring him along, and was like, okay, cool.
Sure, fine.
Does he help me? Yeah. Sold. Oh, the dog has officially gotten bored of the chew toy. Have you figured out there's no food in there anymore? That's fair.
Did you take the food?
There? No, she ate it.
Oh. Oh, hello.
There's now a dog at my feet.
Hello.
I think she's now done with us. Oh god, she's trying to crawl up. You're gonna see a dog in a second. Oh, there's the head of a dog. Oh god. Ah!
Hi, Harper.
She's stabbing me. Okay, you can stay here. That's fine.
Yeah. These are not very good for D&D characters.
Yeah, these are not. They're
like, where did you go to college?
What's your favorite mood? I wish they had one for D&D. Stop.
Do they have a romantic partner? We already went over this. Who would they turn to for help?
Each other, actually, even though they totally hate each other.
Ooh. Cringe.
Man, it's a relationship with the parents. I don't know, they're fucking god dragons.
Yeah. Are they a glass half full or a glass half empty kind of person, am I right?
I'll talk to this glass half full. He's a fucking prince.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, Harper.
Oh, I feel like his is kind of like
a realist. It's a glass of water.
Yeah, it's like, actually, you should probably just drink the water.
You're very dehydrated. Drink the water. Oh, yeah, these are terrible.
If you're asking that kind of question, you probably just should drink the water.
Yeah, I'm not sure. These are not as good as I thought
not
they were.
Good, no. I think they're good if, like, you literally haven't written any of this yet.
It's okay, Harper.
Because that was the goal, was to find things that made us think about our characters, and we haven't found any of that.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Oh, the thing I want to talk about Rainn that you didn't know about.
Oh, shit. I thought you didn't want to talk about that.
Fuck it. So I've officially canonized her godfather.
Oh, shit.
Like, I had it in my headcanon, and I kind of just forgot to tell the DM. And he's like, no, that's fair. That makes sense. And he's like in his writing. He's like, I have a little bit of adjustments I have to do. I only asked him one request, that her godfather not be a bad person. Mm-hmm. Because Rainn deserves some kind of good in her entire existence. Yeah. And Zan. Well, yeah, but like that from her past. I mean, because Zan found her, and that was kind of like happenstance. But like in terms of like her actual family, to have like, because so much of her family's gone, like to have something in her past that is there technically, she just has to relocate that shit. Are you trying to get between us? Would you like to go? Okay, that was the problem.
Yeah.
We found the issue. Okay. But yeah, her godfather and her, would that be what the fuck you would call like your sister, your non-sister, your person you like call your sister, his daughter.
Found family.
Yeah, found family. Yeah. Either way, so that's canonized. I'm not gonna tell you who they are, but I'm gonna tell you that she does have a legal guardian that does exist. There might be a second one, but me and Brian haven't finished discussing that. And that one, okay, that's a spoiler.
Yeah, that one is a spoiler.
That one's straight.
What the fuck you're talking about? That one, I'm like, ooh, yeah, don't.
That one's a spoiler, so we're not gonna do that one. The other one, I'm just saying she had someone who was supposed to take care of her after her parents died, and because of what happened, which we haven't dealt with fully in the canon yet, like we have it written, but we haven't talked about it.
I'm spinning myself by accident.
I know, it's not even the dog this time.
It's me.
But I realized that annoyingly we didn't describe all of her outfits on screen.
For our characters? This character?
For our gala outfits, after we've put them all together.
I super did.
I think we need to do it next session.
Okay.
Or at least maybe the session when we enter into the room, into the gala.
Yeah, you just have to remember, everybody has to remember what they asked for, basically.
Yeah.
I know what I asked for.
I know what I asked for too.
I got those brass buttons, baby.
I got it drawn.
Oh shit, true. Yeah.
Mine
would be very expensive to commission.
Yeah, you'd have to find a specialty artist who's willing to do it.
Yeah, because also putting them in formal wear, that's tough.
They can do it. You know how those artists are.
Well, yeah.
Why are we just glossing over furry? We can say furry artist.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I wasn't saying that. I meant it would be hard to put Andy in a fucking.
I think it's cool.
Like making sure that it looks nice.
I think we could get it done. We just know that our primary artist, or XX Pulp, he would not. He's not as good at doing animals. That's just not his style.
Valid.
He also likes doing female characters a lot more.
Also valid.
It's his style.
Yeah. Cause Andy's obviously a boy.
And a cat person.
Although, okay, so I think I've gotten to the point where I think, honestly, all of my characters are just a little bit not cis, Like, that's because I'm not cis, So,
yeah.
Like, honestly, all
Andy's
of my characters
literally wearing a dress.
Yes.
Andy's literally wearing a dress.
I think all of my characters would accept they pronouns and would not be fussed about it.
Oh, well, apparently we now have a dog joining us.
Hi. Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Where's our Harper? Harper, you would recognize Harper from such sessions as the one where she ate the piece of wood underneath us.
Yep. And got wood chips all over the...
Ow, you were...
Harper.
You got in my mouth that time, and you're tearing the skin off of my arm. Thank you for stopping.
Yeah. Hi, babe.
Oof. She almost got me.
She wants to be part of this, is the thing.
Well, we're not giving her attention, and she's gotten bored with her toy at this point.
Yeah.
So now it's like, so guys, what we doing? What's our next course of action? She's very tired.
Doesn't know what Twitch is.
No. Her bedtime was...
If you can believe that about Harper.
Her bedtime was a solid 40 minutes ago. So she's a little tired and like groggy and is like, can we go to bed? Why you guys stay up so late? I don't want to stay up so late.
Yeah.
It's bedtime for Harper.
Yeah, she forced me into bed with Casey.
Yeah, literally like shoved.
Shoved me over. It was very funny.
I was like, we're going to bed. It's group bedtime.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's not where I sleep, but okay.
It's her deal.
Yeah.
I'm hoping eventually she gets bored of being near us. So far has not happened. Yeah. And goes up. Casey's in bed.
Just goes and cuddles with Casey.
That'd be ideal. Will it happen? No, because she likes following me around. I am like her number 3 favorite person. Yeah. Which I'm okay with. I can live with that accolade.
Is the thing about her.
She's also tired.
Such a pretty little. Okay.
Yep. She finally has figured out how to get between the chairs. We've spent a solid before even we started doing this. She's been trying to. Harper's distracted us. Oh man, we're a mess. This is why we haven't been doing DisasterCast, is because we've just been a mess recently. Sit, girl. Sit, and we'll sit here and pet you.
She's not listening. This is the first time ever she hasn't listened to me.
I think it's because she's
too sleepy.
Yeah.
She's like, actually, I'm too sleepy to follow your command.
I'm just gonna say, okay, we cool, good. She's the drunk girl at the party right now.
Mm-hmm. Guys, don't you just like love being together?
Yeah. Can we all like lie in the grass and look at the stars?
Everybody just feel the universe. It's so big and so small all at
Oh,
once.
she sat down. In a place that we no longer can pet the dog, so she's
down with the.
We officially have a dog at our feet, which hopefully she falls asleep because she needs to sleep.
God. I mean, she has been napping intermittently today. She's done a better job today than usual, so good for her.
Which I'm just happy she isn't panicking right now. Because last time she tried to stay over, she was upset. But I need to keep her here because I don't want to go.
A little bit more.
That's what the thought was. Is if she's here all day, she'll feel safe.
Yeah. Also, I feel like at this point, she's definitely realized that Brian isn't there. That night that she got out, Brian was still home.
Yep. And it's possible to get to Brian. And now she's like, Brian doesn't here. So I literally am her savior. Every time I would go to pick her up, she would lose fucking mind.
Yeah. It's like either she's here with people that she likes or she's back home with only one person.
That she's on.
Yeah. So she could hang out with 3 people that she's super into. At a house that's unfamiliar, or she could be in a house that's unfamiliar with one person who maybe isn't giving her the most attention.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm just happy
we give her lots of attention because we like pups.
We love Harper.
We love
official Nat Disaster dog, Harper.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I believe Harper is actually on one of our screens. When Callum wasn't here. I believe Harper's on one of the
I think so, yeah.
The cards. I could probably find it, but I don't care right now.
I'm pretty sure she is, yeah. Or it might be one of his dogs for his screen.
I think it's both.
Oh, yeah.
I believe there's 3 dogs on that screen. I think it's one of Callum's dogs. I think it's Harper, and I think there's one other dog.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
try to see if I can find it very fast.
Everybody likes the dog.
Nah, the DisasterCast one's actually properly set up with only like exactly what it needs instead of a whole bunch of extra fucking assets like the rest of them.
Everybody likes dogs, so we put them on the screen to get more views.
Oh, that's not set up. That's not set up. That's not set up. That's not set up. That's not set up.
It's definitely set up. What are you saying?
What?
The cam only setup is definitely set up.
I was trying to hope that one of our art ones are set up, and it is hard no.
Yeah.
I can do it while you talk.
Okay, I am talking.
Fuck.
Look, I'm not good at that, maybe.
Video capture device 2. That's video capture. Where is it?
I think about what else I've been up to. Okay, I watched something recently.
Stay in cam only. Oh, now it's double of us. I don't like that.
I like it better over here because I do a better job at looking at the center.
Okay, we'll keep both of them up. It'll throw my brain off the entire time, but...
I'm better at looking at myself here because I'm going to look at myself, and if I look at myself over there, it looks worse than if I look there.
This is not... Your eyes look like demons. This is literally... These are not treats.
No.
They're cough drops. They're not even good cough drops.
They're not for dogs. Oh, my cat thinks that Cheez-Its are for cats. That's the thing about him.
Harper.
Every time I open a bag of Cheez-Its, he runs over to me.
Oh, treats!
Yeah, and he thinks they're treats.
This has stopped becoming a thing about... Hi, welcome to Hi, welcome to DisasterCast, a podcast about Dungeons and Dragons sometimes.
We did a pretty good job this time. We spent like a good 45 minutes talking about D&D. So
yeah, until Dog distracted us.
Until Dog, yeah.
That's fine. Dog's allowed to distract us.
Yeah, there's 2 points in times. It's BD and AD. It's before Dog and after Dog.
I like that.
Thank you.
That's good.
It's one of those ones that if we got famous people would print on like a t-shirt and sell for like $15 on Redbubble.
And we would
then
never
steal our money.
I wouldn't care. I'm not that much of a capitalist.
I'm not into Redbubble. I think it's fucked up.
It depends.
That's my hot take.
No, steal from Disney. I don't care.
Oh, that's fine. I just don't like that they steal from like small creators. It's pretty common, and like there's a lot of art theft there.
Art theft is bad. Art thief.
I don't like it. It makes me sad.
Oh god, the whole thing needs to be updated. That's depressing.
Probably not right now.
Obviously, no. One of them is a driver from NVIDIA, and that will crash the stream updating that. I wasn't going to. I was just like, I just clicked. I'm ADHD. Actually, we tagged one of the tags as ADHD today because I've been.
He has been formally diagnosed.
Not just that, it's also been a fucking week.
Yeah, we've had a week.
I've been watching a dog since Tuesday.
Yep.
And I've had a full, work week that's been super... It's been warm out. It's been tiring. I'm happy it's my last week. If it wasn't, I'd cry. Realistically.
You know, the thing about DisasterCast is that I always yawn a lot. Because we always do it at 10 o'clock.
I don't exactly know why we decided 10 o'clock was when we do DisasterCast. I'll have to ask Brian.
It's fine. I don't hate it.
What's really funny...
I just always...
I think it's because we want our late night thoughts, and usually by 10 o'clock we're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Also, our first couple DisasterCasts, at 10 o'clock we hit a whole bunch of people would watch. Nowadays we get less viewers, but I don't know why. I think it's because... Honestly, Brian has not been promoting the DisasterCast like he should because he lost access to his Twitter.
Really?
He got a new phone and he doesn't remember his login information.
Ryan.
Yeah. He won't call Twitter support to fix it.
You could also just use your email.
He doesn't know what email he used.
You can just test every single one. It's not that hard.
He needs to call him at this point. For some reason, also, it's been sending him a code and won't send him the code. It's not a spam on anything.
Right. Yeah.
So I need to call them and be like, hey, it won't let me fix my Twitter.
Creepy.
For a man born in the 90s.
He's not very good with technology.
Oh, he's the worst. He's still using Microsoft Word.
And look, I'm not that good at technology either, but I know things.
Yeah, I'm fairly good. The stuff I'm not good at, but... Oh, sorry. I didn't expect it to bounce back at you.
I know to at least write down my login information.
Mm-hmm. That's a good choice to do.
I just saw the replay of you flicking it at me.
And you being like, what the fuck just happened?
Such a look on my face. Holy shit. Okay.
It's not it's a clean Q-tip that's just on my desk. I was just fiddling with it because I have ADHD.
Yeah. Used and on your desk because that would be really gross.
That's really gross. No, I was actually trying to flick it over the camera to behind my screen and it immediately hit the mic and bounced directly back. As
we said, ADHD. He decided now was the perfect time to flick it behind his desk.
I need to stop holding it.
The right spot, I don't know.
I need to stop holding it. That didn't help my eyes feeling better because it's just dog hair on my shirt.
I think you probably got it in your eyes.
It's very likely. It's when my eyes are probably irritated. Also, I don't spend this much of a time with a dog anymore, so my allergies are a little...
Your eyes are a little bit red.
It's almost like...
But it is dark in here, so...
It's also because I'm not super allergic to dogs, but I'm a little.
Mm-hmm.
So being with Harper in an enclosed space as long as I have has irritated my allergies a little bit.
I'm fine with dogs. I used to have way worse allergies when I was a kid. Every time I had a sleepover, my nose would be so runny that I got so embarrassed. And I was really bad at asking people for tissues. Like, I was too embarrassed to ask them for tissues. And so I would just sit there.
Unhappy
with a runny nose. And it would be really bad. And, it was a bad time in my life, I'm not gonna lie. Being 12 was hard on me.
But, if any of you are watching, which I'm very sure the only people watching are the computer next to me.
Uh-huh.
And maybe Brian if we're lucky.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope he just doesn't stay in Sam's house during the hurricane, because it's on the water.
It's unwise.
It's not even, like, in the bay.
I do believe...
It's on the point. It's not in the bay. Don't know like how it comes to the bay and it comes to a point like this. He's on the point. It's on the point. It's the worst place you can be.
Beach?
Yeah, it's by Point Beach.
I do trust that Sam is smart enough to be prepared.
They remove their fucking cars if he ruins his brand new car.
Ooh.
I will.
He has a nice car.
Laugh so hard.
No, you won't.
Not the day of.
You won't laugh. You won't laugh in front of him.
No, to myself.
Because I'll punish you. I don't know how. I'll kill your character. I don't know which one. I'll just pick one. I'll roll a d4.
It can't be Greg. I don't care.
I'll roll a d4. That way it has a chance of being one you give a shit about.
Please don't be Rainn. We both don't want Rainn to die.
D4.
He's like...
Don't be mean to Brian to his face.
I've never been mean to Brian to his face. When we paused D&D and I was...
I know, you were upset enough that you didn't...
Talk to him
for 2 days. You were on purpose not talking to him so that you weren't mean.
Yeah, I didn't want to be mean. He's my best friend. I don't want to be mean to my best friend. And I was, at the moment, rightfully angry, but also, it's right that he needed to pause.
Yeah.
So I was in this weird spot. I'm like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Also, fuck.
Yeah, well, hey, the thing about emotions is that you're allowed to have them.
Yeah, hence why Brian's
honestly, really good self-control that you were able to say, hey, I know that this isn't, how I want to interact with this person that I care about. So instead of interacting and saying something that I'm going to regret, I'm going to take time for myself to figure out how I feel so that I can articulate it in a healthy manner.
Oh, yeah, that's what... And at one point you even asked, why haven't you said anything in the chat about the blah, blah, blah? I'm like, Brian, I'm not in the mood to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
Yeah. And that's fair.
I'm still...
Take time for yourself, folks.
I'm still gently annoyed about it. Though I am actually more annoyed that I have gotten therapy before he has gotten therapy.
Don't say that shit on stream, Conlan.
We said he was going to on stream.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't care if people know I'm in therapy.
Call him out, though.
I'm going to. Put him on blast, no one. Don't put Brian on blast. He doesn't need more stress.
We'll put this out in post.
No, we won't. That requires work.
You should, though.
Probably, but he's still... Not that he's not looking. I'm not claiming he's, not trying at all. No, he's trying. It's just...
That shit's tough.
I was like, really?
And to be fair to him, his insurance is kind of wacko right now.
This insurance covers almost everyone. It's literally just because he's being picky about who he wants as a therapist. Which is, you're allowed to be. You should pick someone who is good for you. You shouldn't pick, some rando. And I totally understand that. Though I was forced to pick some rando. I'm lucky I got a great therapist out of it.
Yeah, she seems to be right. So.
She's very nice and wonderful and gets the slightly dark humor I have, which is good. Or else it would not work. If they didn't get the dark humor I have, it would not. It would just be like,
is that we all need therapy?
Yeah, we don't even want to say on stream how we feel sometimes.
No.
Because it's not healthy.
It's not always public information.
It doesn't need to be. One day it probably will be because I'll write a book.
Talk about in private, and then there's things that you want to discuss.
I don't care that much unless, for some reason, an employer decide that seeing all this crap decided to disqualify me. Then I'd be like, oh, really?
I don't really want to discuss mental health on stream.
I'm
just not really my
thing.
thing.
No, that's what our characters are for.
Yeah, that's what my characters are for. Hey. Look, I will allow people to draw their own conclusions about my mental health based on my characters. But I don't want to see that shit in my mentions, though. You know what I mean? That's why I don't share my Twitter and shit, because if we do get popular,
yeah,
I don't want people to come at me and be like, hey.
You're much more likely to be the person who has, like, the Vicky from Nat Disaster Twitter, where you don't use that Twitter at all, except for to retweet our crap and pictures and fan art. That's all you would use it for. And you're like, I don't actually read what people send to me.
Yeah,
I literally scroll.
To have, like, a professional Twitter. Yeah. That way I'm not, like, submitting myself to, like, volatile.
Yeah. Yeah, because that way it's not personally attacking you. It's attacking professional Vicky, which professional Vicky doesn't exist. that's a fake entity that we made for art.
Call me out.
That's all of us. There's a reason why I have 2 Twitters now. Mm-hmm. Like I have the me, and then I have a separate Twitter on a different podcast I'm working with one of my friends, because that podcast is about much different things than what I do on Twitter. Not that I do those things on Twitter, but, like, I've decided they need to be on different accounts.
Valid.
Because I don't need both those things on my main Twitter feed, because it's too much. Also, I have younger people who I interact with, like, through my youth groups that now follow me on Twitter. And I'm like, I don't need them to see my likes on Twitter, that if I decide to like something that's slightly more inappropriate, because, I follow, like, used to follow a whole bunch of cosplay. I now follow all my cosplayers and stuff on that other Twitter, too. Because they're like, what was that thing you're liking? Like, it was a girl who did an outfit for oh my god, my brain is forgetting the girl from Metroid's name.
Isn't it Sam?
Yeah, Samus. I knew what it was. I literally could have written it down, but I could not say it out loud.
Ooh.
Oh, weird. Yeah. That's why I was really annoyed. That's
why that tired zone.
We have walked a dog 3 miles today.
She's settled.
I'm hoping she's unconscious.
She looks a little bit unconscious to me.
Good. She needs it. She deserves to sleep.
She does. She really does.
But
I feel like I don't know. I keep saying the words I feel like, but I feel like she might be a bit more calm today because, like I said, I think that she's accepted the situation for what it is. She's realized that Brian isn't home. She's realized that, like, here is, just a safer place to be.
Yeah.
And, now she has more people that she knows.
I just hope she sleeps well.
I hope so, too.
Because we're going to have a hurricane tomorrow.
Yeah. She's welcome to cuddle with me.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to wake up at, like, 6 to let her out and pee in the rain, and then I'm going to have to dry her off.
Yeah, we're going to need lots of towels. We can have a dedicated towel.
Yeah, there'll be a dog towel.
Dedicated Harper towel.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad in that morning.
Heavy rain/wind.
All day. It makes me wonder, I don't know when I'm trying to drop you off at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. I brought enough for a few days.
Yeah, because I don't want to drive across town in a hurricane.
Yeah. I think it's valid to maybe drop me off, like, maybe Monday night, Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll probably be Monday during the day when it dies down, because it's supposed to die down Monday during the day until it's just, like, normal rain.
Yeah.
We'll also see, like, if the roads are passable. For all I know, all the trees in town are going to blow over, and we're going to be like, oh.
Probably not.
The apocalypse happened. We have enough food, we're fine.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Watch our Twitters for updates.
The only thing that would suck is that I would run out of clothes. And then it's like, okay, I guess I'm doing laundry.
That's the end of the world. Oh, I have to put the laundry in the dryer.
I guess I'm doing Vicky laundry.
I have to make sure I do that.
I only have like 5 outfits.
Whatever.
Vicky laundry.
I never going anywhere. This was fucking hurricane.
Yeah, I brought enough stuff for a few days just in case, because I was like...
Yeah, I had that realization of like, it's 100% rain until 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, definitely not Sunday then.
Yeah.
But, maybe Monday at some point. Yeah. Maybe.
Let's see what Monday looks like.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, thunderstorms.
Yeah, but then it's not as bad. It looks like in the middle of the day.
Yeah, showers.
In the middle of the day, it looks like it's not going to be too bad. Only like 50% chance of humidity.
That's 10 a.m.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Well, that's middle of the day for me, okay?
I'm usually still asleep at 10 a.m.
Okay, either way, it's still thunderstorms. It's still not that bad later in the day.
Yeah. 44%. Oh, 0.01 inches.
Yeah, it's drizzling.
Yeah.
It's not like the day before where one of these, almost half an inch at one point.
Yep.
You know, some of these numbers might be wrong. This is an estimate. It could be way more.
True. That's true. Yeah, so like Monday could be fine. Tuesday maybe.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely set for that amount of time anyway, so.
This is a real attractive look, right? Man. D&D. I wish we were playing more of it. But also, like, playing twice a week was getting a little... That was a hard week.
It was fun.
It was fun, but it was a lot of week.
I
got nothing else done.
The other thing is that, like, so many of us are not available on the weekends anymore, and that's really tough.
Well, I made the, like, even though, like, technically me and Brian make, like, formal decisions as the executive, quote, officers of this bullshit. I kind of hard made the executive decision before I, like, even let him really input on it. I'm like, when we go back to in-person, if we go back to the main campaign, it will be Sundays.
Yeah.
There is no other day I'm doing it. It will be Sundays. I don't care what else you have going on, Brian. It will be Sundays.
That's fair.
Because it's the only time I have enough time to set up
Yep.
and take down.
Yeah.
And it gives us the freedom to an entire day, like, block.
And it's like, okay, I understand wanting to do things. Like, I understand wanting to have, like, other things going on. But, like, you can schedule those for other days in the week. And especially if you're willing to do things... If you're willing to play D&D on a weeknight, you should be
until 11 o'clock.
You should be willing to do whatever it is you were going to do on a Sunday on a weeknight.
Yeah, because it's still a weeknight. You still have to go to work tomorrow.
So it's the same kind of deal.
This is our opinion.
And this way, we get more playtime. We all have time to hang out as friends outside of game. Like,
for a little bit, yeah. That's the only problem with the Thursdays is we call, we talk for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and we play D&D, and then we go to bed.
Yep.
Because we all have work.
Yep.
So we don't get any of the social bit of, like, we get some social bit. That's why you'll see we get distracted. And that's the problem we've always had with having D&D on Thursdays, even back when we started Nat Disaster, is we would have distracted moments where we'd lose track because we didn't have any social time prior or after, is we did it during session.
Yeah, I do think that a big thing that I've always tried to instill is that we should still hang out outside of game. And there was a while where the only time we were hanging out was in session.
It was on Thursdays.
And that's not good. Like, that's not good for the game. It's not good for us. It's not good for mental health. It's good to be able to, like... That's the other thing, is that I feel like that was when things felt like they were more personal, when, like, people were acting in character and it got interpreted as the person acting, is because we weren't able to interact before and after the game. And so people were getting their feelings hurt. So it's better for everybody if we have time to interact as people.
Yeah. I wish I had more free time in my life. That's why
that's the other thing, is that...
Also, doing an inconsistent, like, day. Like, Brian was like, oh, we'll just do... Originally, we were going to just do Heist whenever we had time. And I was like, so, Brian, we're never going to do the Heist campaign again. I hope you... I love Brian, because he is a wonderful, hopeful boy that believes in some reality that does not exist. Sorry, Brian. I hate to break it to you. Yeah. I've said it to him before, and it makes him upset, and I'm sorry. That's why I'm apologizing multiple times. But... There's no magic reality where, like, we say, okay, Monday, we're all going to play, like, the 2 days before that Monday. That's impossible.
Yeah. People need...
You have to set a day. So everyone can schedule their lives around that day.
Yeah,
and Brian doesn't like doing that.
When I had games on Sundays, I would just tell everybody that I wasn't available on Sundays. And it was really manageable.
I don't know why he has trouble with that. He hates having a set day. He hates set schedules, which just makes him more stressed. Yeah. And I've never... ever in my whole life understood he does that. He's like, I like to go with the flow. I'm like, and that just means you are stressed every day.
Yeah.
If you know, like me, Wednesdays I have scouts. Wednesdays are off limits. Tuesdays we now have Rainn of the Draco-Tyrant. Those are off limits.
Yep.
Sundays used to be completely off limits. Sundays are Nat Disaster Day.
Yep.
And Saturday night I set, not every Saturday night, every other Saturday night, so that way I gave myself a Saturday night every other week to go be with friends.
Yeah.
That was the reason why we did it. We were gonna do it bi-weekly. I didn't even like
hang
out with friends during this time we weren't playing.
I'm also down for bi-weekly sessions. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
If he needs it to be bi-weekly, I'm down for that. It just means that we can't have people calling out on the weekends that we're doing it.
Yeah, it just means we need to, or sometimes we'll need to do a double session, week after week, and then a break.
Yeah.
If we have to move it around, that's fine. That's what we've done with DisasterCast. Yeah. And until this 2-month gap where we're stupid busy, it's worked really, really well. Also because Brian said he was going to do a session during our DisasterCast gap. One weekend he said he was going to come over, and then that never happened. Mm-hmm. That was one of the times where it got canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Sundays have been our best consistent day. Like, that's the times that we've been able to play the most week after week after week, is when
we had a solid 2 months where we played every single week. Mm-hmm. And it felt great because we were in character, fully in character. Yeah. Even when we were doing it every Sunday for Heist and stuff, we were hitting nearly every week. Mm-hmm. We'd have I'd say 3 out of the 4 weekends a month. Because usually there's at least one weekend where someone had something going on, and that was fine.
Yeah, and I'm also down for the thing where it's if we're missing one person, we still play. If we're missing 2, then we pause.
Yeah.
That's valid to me.
Hopefully Brian, the other executive officer of this,
it's just about priorities,
I understand he'd want to prioritize this. Fair. He was starting a new relationship with someone.
Yeah.
And that's totally fair. But he also loves D&D. So we'll see what happens. We'll let him. That's on him to figure it out because he's the dungeon master.
That's for the boys to figure out.
That's for the disaster master to figure his shit together.
He might be a bit better if he was just a player. I think that he might be able to commit the time because I think the thing that was frustrating him was all of the time that he was spending off stream preparing, and so it was taking up a lot of his time.
Yeah.
Whereas we as players, we caution off those 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah, that's all we have to do.
And that's all.
And maybe we got maybe a couple hours somewhere else during the week because we have to talk to the DM.
Yeah. And so, it's valid to say, okay, for him to prepare, preparation takes time.
Well, the problem was it was becoming a part-time job.
Yeah.
He was hitting the 12 to 20 hours of writing mark, which part of it is his writing style, which I'm not going to fully describe because I'm not going to blast Brian on stream. He doesn't deserve to be blasted on stream because he works so hard and does such great work.
Hell yeah.
But his style can be unhealthy for himself.
He's very immersive.
Well, because it's either he's fully immersed or he says he's gonna write one night, and he'll do a mind-altering substance. It'll be drink a beer or two, so he's gonna write, or because it's now legal in the States, doesn't matter. Smoke some weed, and then he'll get distracted. So he'll set aside time to do that. And then something will happen, and he'll distract the crap out of himself. And then he'll have done maybe 10 minutes of writing, after he set a 4-hour block of time to himself.
Yeah,
and he's really bad. Sometimes it's my fault because sometimes we hang out here, and I want to hang out with my best friend, and that was conflicting. He's like, "Oh, I'll write at Conlan's house right before session." I'm like, we're hanging out.
Yeah. Good luck, pal.
What? And you fall asleep before I do. I stay up till 1, and you're like...
He's so funny.
At 1 a.m.
Tired.
Yeah, because he'll be like, I'm just resting my eyes. Also, Brian, you're snoring.
I really just want to blast Conlan's amount of ketchup packets.
There are more ketchup packets than this. That's just the ones in that container.
I need you to see that this is a big container, folks. It is my entire hand's worth.
What's
ketchup
up,
packets.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
What's up?
Honey.
Something she doesn't like. The dog does not like something, and I'm unsure what it is.
Yeah, maybe we should take a little break.
We're going to take a little break, just in case.
Check on.
I'm guessing there's probably just an animal outside, and she can smell it. Okay, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I have a dog that I'm trying to get to scoot.
Hi, everybody. Are you sure they can hear us and see us?
They can see us.
Are you sure they can hear us?
They can hear us.
Hey.
I have a dog. Everybody. I'm trying to get her to scoot, but she's being a little...
She really likes being in his lap.
This
is in everyone's lap.
This is what she tries to do every time. Even when Brian's around and she's near me, she immediately climbs onto my lap to try and lick my face.
Yep.
And I have no problem with it.
Harper is an affectionate girl.
Well, she is a very codependent dog.
So, we figured it out. The neighbors came home, slammed the door. Everything's fine.
Yeah, they slammed their car door.
We're all good.
And Harper just heard that because she's like, "Is there a threat?" Which makes her a good dog.
If there is, I'm gonna bite it.
Oh,
good girl.
We know she's really tired. She's officially lied down on the couch.
Good. None of us are over there, so
I mean, she's really tired.
She's really tired.
It also means she's gonna whine and
yeah.
Whatever. We're going to bed in like 20 minutes, so like it's fine.
Yeah. This is a wrap up.
Yeah. I can't wait till we actually go to the heist. I can't wait to figure out who the fuck the cat is.
Yeah. Okay, so we know it's a Yuan-ti.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've met this person.
No.
Which is interesting about that. I am curious about whether they are friend or foe.
I'm not sure, and I hope they don't add more complication. Rainn already has a headache.
I will say, if you guys had just been nice to the cat, like I said, nothing would have happened, and we probably would have just been fine the whole time. Because that person did cast Cure Wounds on me.
No, we've been overall nice to the cat, but had Rainn not been slightly drunk and screamed about bothering her at 11, well, it's like 1 a.m.
and Delson were constantly thinking about killing it, and I'm sure that the person who owned the cat was hearing that entire discussion.
They asked them, we're like, what? We are criminals.
Okay, so here's the thing about Find Familiar. You can like look and hear through the familiar's eyes. So like,
but we also talked about it in a tongue they don't know.
Possibly.
If they know Elven, Thieves Cant, then they earn to learn that. Of course, they also could probably cast a spell if they are a wizard. They could have just casted a spell to hear what we were saying.
Tongues.
Yeah. Though, like, that's what we're trying to do in multiple. Also, like, no, well, Thieves Cant. Unless you know Thieves Cant, you can't hear Thieves Cant.
It just sounds really weird, and they would know that we were talking about weird shit.
It would just sound like you having a conversation, but you would have zero context for it.
No, it definitely sounds like code. Like,
well, yeah.
Like it does sound like you are speaking strangely. It says that in the Dungeon Master's Guide or like the Player's Handbook or something. It says specifically that Thieves Cant sounds like unnatural. Like very strange language. Like code.
Yeah, well, like the words don't mean what they're supposed to mean clearly.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys have seen season 3 of Stranger Things. I just watched it. There's Russian code in there where it's like, the silver cat feeds at midnight. And it's like that shit where it's
yeah. I know.
Like I understand that this is code, but I don't know what the fuck it means.
That's okay. You need to know.
You need to know the context in order to understand.
Yeah.
The context, basically.
Yeah. So even if you could translate to Elven, unless the character knew Thieves Cant, which is possible.
They could know both. Yeah. You'd have to be able to translate it to Elvish, and then you'd have to understand Thieves Cant. Also, I don't know if this is how Brian rules it, but I would definitely rule that thieves from different areas have different, codes.
Yeah.
And not necessarily you knowing Thieves Cant would help you communicate with somebody in a different city, because...
You would understand that they're speaking Thieves Cant, and maybe some things, there would probably be some crossover.
There might be some overlap, but if you were in a different country or a different continent, absolutely not.
Yeah, which is why it's a code.
Yeah.
Because also not all thieves
local.
Not even all thieves in the same area. In different guilds, they might have different versions of Thieves Cant.
Absolutely. There's definitely signs that, say, Rainn wouldn't recognize, or signs that, Andy wouldn't recognize. Yeah. And there's probably some signs that Rainn would recognize that Andy wouldn't recognize.
Yeah. But just like Brian said, this symbol you see here is a universal symbol.
Yep.
In Thieves Cant, which means it works in all the languages.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There's probably various ones like home, safe spot, guards here, or
Well, just like
danger,
way up,
like things like that,
or a secret path or stuff like that. Because there's one. This is a secret path over into the Telerian market.
Yeah, that one was secret path. But I'm sure there's ones like.
Well, there's one for that bar. That bar has a universal code.
Yes, I don't remember what
it's like safe, but also this is a bar.
Yeah, it was.
No, it's information. I think it's information.
Yeah, it was like safe, but information also. Like these people have information for you, which is probably like if you want a job, you can probably approach them and be like, hey.
It's gonna be interesting how Thieves Cant can be used in a military context.
Definitely. I mean, yeah.
Because you know how the
they would.
I can't pronounce their nation properly. The Native Americans who did the code speaking for the U.S. the Marines, who were Navajo is
Navajo.
Okay, when I read it, I read it and it looks wrong to how I'm supposed to say it, and that's just because I have problems. Okay, I'm dyslexic, guys, and I have speech impediment issues, so I struggle. But they use their native language plus the existing code system and layered it.
Yeah.
In a way, I don't know exactly how they did, but they layered their native language. They took the code system, translate into their language, and then layered it again by using another coding in their language. So that way, it was just incomprehensible.
I'm pretty sure they were also able to help us break the code break codes during World War II. I think. I believe they assisted us.
I don't know if they. I don't remember if they.
It might not have been then. It might have been further.
No, that was Alan Turning. Did the
yeah, but I think there was more assistance than just him. I think there were.
Well, there was a whole team
working on it. Yeah.
I'm not sure what other linguists are doing. That I know less about the trying to break the Enigma code. I know less about that, but I know about the Navajo. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I feel like it's big.
More simple than you think it is.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
The Navajo code talkers, because they invented something that was unbreakable, because no one knew the language except for them, and it was in code in their own language.
Yeah.
So they just assigned made a whole bunch.
Just in case any shithead kids tried to break it, and it's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's in code again. So they took something in code, translated it to their language, and then coded it again. So that way, even if you figure out the English part, it would be gibberish to them because it's still scrambled in a different language. So even if you found a way to go from their language to English, and you unscrambled English, it still would be scrambled because you'd be like, these words have no meaning in this order.
Yeah. Codes. Honestly, I think that's a really good thing about playing like a high intelligence character too. Like, I think that Rainn should be better at like code breaking. Like that type of thing would make sense for her, especially because she's a mastermind rogue.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
it's the reason why in my like headcanon future world, I play Rainn as a high rank. In my Rainn would be the person who she wants power, but like she doesn't need to be the face of a government. She doesn't want that. I
feel like Rainn's gonna be fantasy CIA.
She's gonna be closer to like the Shadow Guild that like runs the world.
Yeah.
That like, but the difference is
fantasy Illuminati.
But the difference is she's probably closer to like Anonymous, where she's beneficial.
Fantasy Anonymous.
Yeah, where she's a positive influence, because Rainn is good overall.
Yes.
She may do bad things, but they're always for the right.
I thought she was chaotic neutral.
She's neutral.
Oh, neutral. Wild.
But her heart is good. She's her torment has caused her to to be more neutral and to sometimes do things that are evil because she sees it as efficient.
Yeah.
Or she's doing that evil thing because she's willing to, and she knows it will get her to the good ending, and no one else is probably willing to do it.
And it's interesting, too, because that's, like, things that, like, good aligned characters are going to be like, yo, no.
Yeah, they're going to be like, and Rainn will be like, I don't think you understand, it's not a choice thing. It's being, happy, go good.
I mean, no, I think that, like, characters, even like Nock, I think would do something morally gray.
Well, Rainn is.
I don't think that she would do something straight up evil. Like, she wouldn't torture somebody.
Rainn would torture someone.
She wouldn't, like, like, even killing, like, a human being is hard for Nock. Like, if she's in the heat of battle, she's, like, pretty okay, but later on she's going to be reckoning with it.
Rainn doesn't have that. She has some regret if she kills someone who didn't deserve it. Mm-hmm. But if someone deserved it, she wouldn't care.
Oh my god, I feel so bad about those Gandits of the Grasslands all the time because I shot them as they were running away.
Like, if the Gandits became enough
of a character choice.
Yeah. If the Gandits became enough of a problem where they harmed Zista, like as a society and all that, in existing, though it would suck because it is an evil act to just kill people, even some of them who would be innocent. If you do not... The key is making them dissolve.
Yeah.
And Rainn would take extraordinary measures to guarantee they're no longer a threat.
Goal. I don't think the goal is dissolving the Gandits.
It depends on what they do after. I don't think we're going to deal with them as a problem over. I think we're going to deal fighting them a couple times.
I do think it would be fun to fix the problem, though. Because here's the thing. I think that there's probably just somebody in there that's corrupt.
I reiterate, and that's what it depends on the context of what happens after Time's Alignment. Because I don't think they'll be...
What if we take care of them first?
That's fine.
You know what I mean? We don't know when this shit is going to happen, so there's no reason for our characters to be like, oh, this thing is happening right now.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know?
But, like, this is just, like, meta-thoughting, meta-Conlan, is, like, I don't see the Gandits as, like, a short-term solve.
But
I see us having to deal with some of their issues short-term.
If we help them become better people and get back to where they were, they could help us in the real fight.
Oh, no, I agree. I personally do not have enough information to make my decision yet.
That's what I'm saying. I think we gotta go in. We gotta go undercover.
We're gonna see. So I know is Rainn could find out more about the Gandits, because in theory in the underworld you'd know more about the Gandits, because the Gandits have to come into Zista. They have to. They have to get supplies and equipment.
Definitely. The Gandits hate our guts.
Yeah, I think our group has fucked it.
But
we can try.
We can try. And here's the thing. We can super be like, yo, they were fucking attacking us. Because were. I mean, they weren't going to be violent unless we didn't comply, but that's still... A threat of violence is still violence, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. In character, except not like that, because that's not how Nock speaks.
But, Rainn's, like, she's a person who, like, if the only solve... Say a country was attacking Zista. Stallion Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And they're, like, a country that... Like, a lot of country... Like, obviously, this is a time where honor is important in war.
Yeah.
Rainn doesn't give a fuck about honor, eh? Like, within reason, she cares about parts of honor, but, like, if her goal is, like, this is a giant barbarian army that's going to slaughter the city, Rainn doesn't care what methods used. Everyone's like, we shall fight them honorably. Rainn's like, or we could roll a whole bunch of barrels of gunpowder down a hill, light them, and blow them all to smithereens and never look back. And Rainn would do something like that, which is horrifying, because they're, like, ready for an honorable fight, and you just ambush them by blowing a valley apart. Yeah. And their general's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And you're like, I didn't want to fight you. Mm-hmm. I solved the problem. Do not send more people to war with us. You have a choice. She's a super peace kind of person. To do something so immediate in an opening, like, bombardment, that they go, no, fair, let's not fight if you're going to keep doing crazy shit like that.
Yo, this girl bites people.
Well, yeah, she is that person in the fight where she bites someone's hand and they start bleeding and they're like, fuck that, I'm out.
Shit, this girl has rabies.
Yeah, she's that kid. She's the kid who kicks the guy she's fighting in the balls and says, your fault for having a weak part.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. I think in that type of scenario, it's fine. I think that mass murder is always wrong.
I didn't claim that Rainn was going to sit there and be like, this group of people, besides the Valpilmers, should be killed.
Fuck the Valpilmers.
I feel nothing towards them. They're like software engineers to me.
I mean, okay, so that's very funny, but...
That's an in-joke between us, sorry.
Here's the thing, I feel like we should do as little harm as possible to the spawn.
Yeah, probably. Because they're probably innocent.
Because they're innocent people. Like, that's the thing.
The answer is you see what they do after we kill their masters.
Yeah.
If they also turn evil, yeah, fuck them.
Absolutely know who sires each person because, as you recall, the person who sired Naresh is dead.
Yeah.
So we don't know who that was. Nope. It could have just been some random ass dude.
That is the overall problem with dealing with vampires.
Yeah, so it's hard to know who sired who. Now, I do think we would end up freeing a lot of vampires if we killed, like, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Vapilmer.
I don't even know if there is a Mrs. Vapilmer.
I don't think there is. I think it's probably like, like a cult. Like there's like,
oh fucking no.
There's like,
we've not learned enough about
like
them.
13 of them or whatever.
I don't know how much Ryan's read in the Vapilmer. For all we know, they're really well
sit at a table together to dine. The first one to raise will die.
What's funny is Dumbledore is the one who rises.
Because Peter is at the table in rat form, Dumbledore rises first.
Thank you, Tumblr.
I genuinely do not think that Joe is smart enough to do that.
Nope, that was an accident.
I genuinely believe that it was definitely just like.
I think she is
about Peter.
She has written so many things where she went, "Oh, thanks guys, thanks for that idea."
Here's the thing.
But she takes credit for them. It's not different.
She always forgot about Peter. Like there were multiple times where she forgot about Peter. Why the fuck didn't the twins say anything about a man sleeping in their brother's bed?
There are
for years.
Whatchamacallums, theories that the map isn't guaranteed to show.
A map does show Animagi. It does. They appear on it. That's
because Sirius
appears on the map and Peter appears on the map. That's how they figure out that Peter is there.
Yes, they definitely should notice that earlier. Mm-hmm. Everyone should notice it earlier.
Yep. Well, at least the twins.
Yeah. Well, even Harry.
They were the ones with the map.
I know, but even when Harry ended up having the map, he would have
eventually found it. It was an eventual thing. He didn't find it immediately. It took
admittedly, they weren't looking for it.
Yeah.
And they could have just thought it was.
You could just be like, "Oh, I wonder where my brother is," and he always had scabbers on him, pretty much.
I think part of it also is.
I don't believe that Joanne
made the decision.
Planned to make Peter an Animagi until the third book. That's the thing.
That's part of it, yeah, because she decided that all 4 of them should be.
Yeah.
Like, she decided that after the fact. And she went, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then she was like, oh shit, got gone.
She didn't retcon, she just ignored the problem. What are you talking about?
Why you write your overarching story from beginning to end, and you have your rules for your magical world set up before you write.
You mean like how Avatar did it?
Well, like how any person who makes a good magical system in any world does it. Like Tolkien was very consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's under Star Wars.
He was maybe a bit of an anti-Semite, but he was very consistent.
Yeah, Star Wars is no consistency. But that's also purposeful. Because the point is the Jedi are mysterious. It's a soft magic system.
Yeah, but like...
But JK, like, plays this, like, hard magic, but soft magic, but hard magic. Which is like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Also, there's, like, a part where they talk about, like, werewolf pups. And then later on, we realize that that's not how werewolves work in this universe.
Nope.
So, what the fuck?
Well, also, some things, I guess, retcon as being legends written.
Yeah.
They are like, they're just...
being taught in class.
It's just I think, but... Also remember that some of the stuff they're taught in class isn't hard correct. Because remember in the advanced potions, when Harry got the Half-Blood Prince potions book, is things in the book... Well, also things in the book are wrong.
Not completely wrong. Just, like, there was a better way to do it.
Yeah, because, you know, Snape figured it out, the potions teacher.
What happened was the person who wrote that particular book was maybe just, like, you know, not as advanced at potions.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is because they weren't completely wrong. They were only, like, you know, it was just, there was a way to get a better result.
Yep.
It's like if you rolled, like, an 18 rather than a natural 20.
Yeah, no. I agree, yeah.
Snape rolled a natural 20 every fucking time, because he had, like, a plus 12 to potions or whatever.
Yeah. Well, how the stats work in that world? They don't. There's no stats. That's not how it works. It's a soft... It's a soft magic system. Well, that's what's weird. Avatar also is technically a soft magic system.
Yeah, but
though it has
consistency.
It's a soft magic system with consistent rules. Only it's both hard. Has hard ideals, but
they only introduce new things as an example of a very powerful bender. Yeah. That's the only time they introduce new.
Well, the soft part is the power curve is infinite.
Yeah.
Because your ability to bend is as powerful as your will is.
Yeah.
And if you're and that's an infinite curve in human beings essentially. And training. It's a combination of training and will. And right now we're just talking about Avatar, which is fine by me.
Intuition, I think, is a big part of it. Because there's some benders who are better early on and worse early on.
Because you have, whatchamacallums, the bloodbenders who learn to bloodbend without a full moon. Mm-hmm. And that's a willpower because they're willing to push their will onto someone else.
Yep. That took a long time in canon for them to be able to train to do that.
It took almost
years, decades to learn how to do it.
Did you know that Mako is the only person besides an Avatar we see resist bloodbending?
Oh shit! No, I didn't.
Because he throws a punch at Amon.
Good job.
Because because Mako has so much willpower. It's also. That was right before he tried to take Korra's bending. So Mako was like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
And that was when he was really into Korra, too.
I definitely think there's, varying levels of, you can... Also, maybe he wasn't as focused on the blood bending.
Well, he was also focused on the Avatar, too. He had two people he was focused on, and he thought Mako was a weaker bender than he was, and Mako's actually a very good bender.
Yeah, because if you were trying to remove the bending from a person... I'm sure that takes up a lot of focus.
Yeah, but
it seems fucked up that you'd just be able to do that
the only
and also be able to do something else at the same time. Yeah. That's fucked up.
But he's the only non-bloodbender, non-waterbender we see. Because obviously we see some waterbenders able to resist. A little bit.
Just a little, yeah.
Because bloodbending is a willpower thing. So if you have enough willpower, you can push a little bit past. Mm-hmm. But most non-waterbenders can't because
they can't bend their own blood.
Well, also because they can't. Their will is different. The will as a firebender is different than the will of a waterbender. Because waterbending is pure will. It's your will. It's your drive. Because we see that's why Korra is such a power. That's why
the twins kind of represent all four elements a little bit. Because I feel like Bolin kind of represents air a little bit as well as earth.
Yeah. And Mako's the fluid. They're not twins, though. They're brothers.
Oh, fuck me. Whatever.
I know.
You know
my brain threw my brain off for a millisecond.
Yeah, I think that's how...
I'm just making sure someone one day says, remember that time Vicky was completely wrong about the Bolin and Mako? And we're like, no one cares.
That they're 2 years apart?
Yeah.
Crucify me. Captain.
But yeah, no, because Bolin has that flowiness he introduces into earthbending.
That's the other thing. I feel like they kind of have the four elements.
Well, yeah, because Mako is the fluidness of waterbending. Also, he's one of the few people who thinks like a waterbender sometimes. That's why when he faces them, he does okay. It's also how he kills that girl that has no arms. Is because she's connected to the water in the cave. He's like, well, you forgot because lightning bend, bitch. Yep. And that's
must be so embarrassing for you.
The deaths in Korra are the most fucked thing. We have a girl get electrocuted to death. Someone's head gets literally blown off.
Yeah.
The brothers blow each other up. Because you have
something from a different show, and I decided not to do that.
Because Tanraka blows up. No, not. Is that Tanraka? Was it? Is that the right name? I don't remember.
I don't fucking know.
Tarlok
sounds right.
Tarlok sounds right. Because he blows up the boat.
Oh yeah.
With him and his brother. And that happens. We just have to make sure she actually goes up to one of the beds, or else she will, at 2 a.m., come upstairs whining.
I'll leave
it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably just let her into the room and just put her at my feet. She seemed to sleep pretty well at my feet. I will let her also come here and walk outside and let her pee before we go to bed. But yeah, Avatar, Korra.
Yeah,
we make it more. I don't care about the live action though. I don't think Netflix is going to do a good job. The original creators aren't there. Mm-mm. It won't be as special.
Yeah, I do wish that the original creators hadn't been dropped from like every single iteration of anything that's happened. Like it just kind of sucks.
The only thing you don't have that much on is Star Wars. Because even though George Lucas is not directly involved anymore, he taught everyone who's in charge right now. Because Dave Filoni was taught, and part of the contract to signing over Lucasfilm to Disney was, by the way, you're hiring this guy Dave Filoni. He is the head of the story group. And they're like, what if we hire other people? Oh, you can hire other people.
Yeah.
But Dave Filoni is in charge. Yeah. Why?
I really do wish
I taught him. He knows
like,
what Star Wars is. He knows it.
I will say that I think that the, sequel series had issues with plot consistency.
That is why Dave Filoni was the informal head of the story department. Yeah. And then shortly after the last sequel movie came out, became the head. Mm-hmm. Actual physical, like, executive office.
Because they were all over the place.
Well, yeah, and people were pissed and unhappy, and they're like, what the heck? You have such a great team. Yeah. There's no excuse because all of your other secondary content is so consistent and so good. Your books, your shows, your comics, all that is so consistent and good. Well, how did you fuck up the most important bit? Yeah. The movies. Hey,
spoiler alert. Big spoiler alert. What the fuck is up with Rey Palpatine?
I just like that one to be Kenobi. So hard. Or no, two options.
No one.
Two options.
No one.
Well, no, when I first saw it before the no one plot.
She's no one.
No, before the no one plot. Mm-hmm. In the Force Awakens, I was like, Kenobi. That'd be cool.
It would be kind of cool, I suppose.
And then when the decision was that she was a nobody, and
I love
then
it.
the Last Jedi, I went, yes,
great.
No, even better. That's even better. That is, the Force has found a person and said, you need to fix what's happening. The Jedi must be reborn.
Also, okay.
And I love that.
I just...
Also, they were... Rainn Johnson, by the way, should have been in charge of the second film. Pissed that he wasn't, because he was rolling into great fucking shit, clearly.
Otherwise, we have a problem here. I dislike that in the first movie, we have Harrison Ford as,
Can you hand me my NyQuil?
Yes.
So that way I can sleep tonight.
We have Harrison Ford, right? And he's like the gruff dude who doesn't like Rey at first, but eventually grows to love her and becomes like a father figure. And then in the second movie, we explore that exact same beat again. And it's not fun, and it's not consistent with Luke's character, and I just don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy grumpy Luke. I really don't.
I understand grumpy Luke.
I understand grumpy Luke, but I feel like
his interactions with Rey suck.
Yes.
I think where Luke...
And then there's just, fucking asshole, and he's a fucking asshole.
That's the one thing he complained about, was the fact of how you treat Rey. I feel like if someone came to be taught, Luke would be like, fine, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
And he just refused, which was... I guess that was supposed to be the
And they were trying to do, a funny thing with it, too. It's just, you can't both be funny and serious at the exact same moment all of the time. You cannot both have him you can't have him throw one of the most important pieces of
history
in the form so blown off of a fucking cliff. I understand that it's a funny moment, but that's a funny moment to put in the fucking bloopers, not in the final production.
Especially with
there's things that are funny in a YouTube skit, and then there's things that are funny in a movie.
Also, the fact that he said nothing, it would have been different if he said something like, this has caused the Jedi too much pain, and then he frisbeed it. Because that would make sense, at least, because he's dead right if you said those words why do you hand me this lightsaber? This has only caused the Jedi pain. He said something like that, took a little bit of seriousness, so that way we still get our comedic... You get comedic moment of him throwing it.
Yeah, and that way we can gif the throwing, and it's like, oh, haha, we made this funny, haha.
But it's still a serious
moment, but haha, look how funny it is.
That's fine. That's what they should have done, instead of just handing it to him and him just doing this.
I think that they tried really hard to make The Last Jedi really funny.
I don't think it was Rainn's ideas to do that, though, Rainn Johnson's. Because he wanted to take everything so seriously, and everyone's like, remember, it's a children's film. He's like, oh, fuck Star Wars!
Yeah, they tried really hard to make that a funny film, and it just wasn't.
I'm happy they didn't do that with Rogue One. Want to know why Rogue One's one of my favorite films? Because they didn't do that. They went, this is a war film.
Yeah.
Good luck, everyone. There was...
Although, I will say...
K2SO is perfect, but that's allowed, because it's Alan Tudyk.
The only name I remembered after the first watch through of that was K2SO, literally.
That's okay.
I could not remember Jyn Erso's name.
That's fine.
And the thing is, I had just watched an entire film about her, and I could not remember her name. That's not good.
My response to that is pretty simple. It's a war film. You don't necessarily need everything.
You can do better character introduction.
That was also because of the reshoot. That was a reshoot problem, too.
Yeah, there was just a bit of an issue with character in that film. There was an issue with...
What happened during production of Rogue One, we got a fucking amazing film.
Also, we watched so many planets get blown up, and it was kind of boring, I'm just saying.
That's fair.
It was kind of boring just watching planet after planet after planet get blown up, and it's like, oh no, we're on a planet and it's about to be blown up. Better run away from the blast. 20 minutes later, oh no, we're on a planet and it's about to be blown up.
I feel like the Jedha, in Jedha, they should have just, instead of using the super laser to blow it up, they probably should have just had Star Destroyers bombard it. I think that would have been better to hold that firing the super laser to having to force the Imperials to use it on Scarif.
Also, there's
because that would be better.
About the super laser, about the Death Star. How does it fucking have that much energy to do that over and over?
It doesn't have to be charged for a long time.
Yeah, but they do it multiple times in that movie.
Yeah, but there's 24 hours between those two.
Oh, it takes 24 hours. Okay,
there
24 hours is not that long.
Yeah, but also...
To generate planet-killing energy?
Well, they didn't kill... In Jedha, they only blew up the city.
Yeah, that's true.
It was, as I said, it was a single reactor explosion. And same thing with Scarif. They didn't blow up the planet. They fired to destroy attempted to destroy the dish. Yeah. Because it was the only weapon that had enough power to accurately fire and hit it. Because the Star Destroyers were, being obliterated. And that was the only big weapon they had. So, them blowing up the planet was kind of a accidental thing.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to blow up Scarif. They were trying to blow apart the Citadel Tower.
Yeah. I do think that,
because that was a less powerful explosion. It's just the fact that it hit the water, so that meant...
It also just kind of, takes away the... if you were to watch them in chronological
Oh, it takes away Alderaan's explosion, yes.
Yes. It makes that not,
But, in Rebels and stuff, there is an episode that deals with because the super laser was tested before the Death Star was fully operational. Because they're having issues with it keeping stability with the power. That's why they brought Jin's father on, Galen Erso, because he was a better power technician. Because the problem is it was able to fire once and blow up an asteroid, and then it would be down for days. And they're like, well, this is not helpful. It's a scary weapon if we can't pop planet after planet through pop one, fly through hyperspace, pop another. If you can't do that, it's not scary anymore, because that means you have more than enough time to go and attack it. So in one of the Rebels episodes, they show up in a field of a whole bunch of destroyed asteroids and former planet chunks, and it's where they tested the super laser.
Oh, also they're probably using that weird power source that comes up in the movie with Han Solo, that movie Solo.
Oh, they were not using that.
No?
They're using kyber crystals.
It would have been probably smart to use that thing.
They're using kyber crystals.
Consistent.
Because that's what powers the Jedi's lightsaber is kyber.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're using...
What are the things that's in... There's some sort of... It's fuel. It's money fuel, but it's also fuel.
I don't remember. Yeah, I know you're
talking. It helps you power hyperspace or something?
Yeah. Fuck. I know what this answer is, but I don't remember it is.
I'm bad at lore when it comes to fucking Star Wars.
That's not important, but because that's key is they made the fuels that run through hyperspace different than the fusion reactors. Yeah. And they the Death Star uses big kyber crystals to focus.
Get that many kyber crystals.
They're underneath Jedha.
Okay.
That's why Jedha was important, and that's why they need to destroy the city. So if the rest of the galaxy found out they stole all the giant kyber crystals they used to use to make lightsabers for the Jedi out from underneath one of their most important cities, religious cities, that would have been a huge publicity nightmare. That's why they destroyed the city and said it was a mining accident.
Yeah, that's almost like if they stole, like, I don't know, kryptonite out from under Israel. Like, I understand there's not kryptonite under Israel.
No, exactly. That's what they did,
Like, imagine if there was.
But that's literally what they did. Yeah. The same thing with, because Ilum is mined for kyber crystals, too, because Ilum's on star maps, but only in the Jedi Temple, and the first place the Emperor takes when he turns into Empire is the Jedi Temple, so he can find that information.
That's another thing I have a gripe with in the last movie is the little star map, and there's, like, 2 of them or whatever, and one of them, like, they try to get, and then it sucks, and I think it would have been cooler if it was, like, I don't know, like something else. I didn't like those little, like, the little weird D4 that it was. I feel like it would have been cooler if it was, like, you know, I don't even know. I just think it was kind of lame. I feel like maybe she should have just, like, followed her. To find
pull the Jack Sparrow.
Palpatine.
You should pull the Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Use your broken ass compass.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, like.
Do you like how Shuram definitely has a Jack Sparrow compass?
Oh, absolutely, he has a Jack Sparrow compass. I don't think that's what it does. I think it just.
It's something different, but
I almost feel like it might point towards Falione.
It is very possible, but still, I find it
as like a warning sign type of thing.
I find it very funny.
Because remember it was spinning that morning? I think the morning that she came?
Yeah, and he was worried.
Yeah.
He's like, we should keep moving. That's why he's so active about keeping moving.
Yeah, Hiss is like so good at their scouting thing. By the way, Callum and I have discussed something that might make it literally impossible for Hiss to fail those checks.
Which is?
There might be an item that Hiss might be able to acquire that will give them advantage on charisma saving throws. Or on all saving throws, I think it was.
Interesting.
I think it might give me advantage on all saving throws.
If you also have advantage on all saving throws, literally you're broken.
I am broken. Okay.
Because if you're standing next to me, you already get a plus whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. He was discussing it with me. And I think it's only for like a minute or something like that. And it does other things. I don't really remember because I don't always write things down when I'm on the phone with Callum because that's not how phone calls work.
Yeah, that's why I forget stuff we talk about all the time.
Yeah, I think sometimes when we talk about D&D, I should have like a notepad because
I pace around the house instead, and then I remember zero of what we talked about, and I hope that Callum wrote down and he did, and then we go, fuck.
Yeah. That's relatable content.
I think we should head out, though, because I think we're now rambling.
Yep, that's fair.
Good night, everyone. This is DisasterCast.
Bad ending.
I'm exhaused, though.
Good night, everybody.
I hit a wall.
I hope everybody stays safe.
If you're in the eye of a hurricane.
Yeah, we don't want to get copyright stricken.
I can't sing for shit. It's impossible for me to sing Hamilton and it can count.
You know.
If you sang it, maybe, but not me.
I'm tired right now, so. I hope you guys are all safe. I hope you guys, even if you're watching us from the future, hi. I hope you're
safe still.
Also, what are the lotto tickets for August 22nd, 2021? Please put them in the comments.
Imagine years from now we're gonna get comments and we're gonna go, thanks, fam. And they're like, wow, that's a data reference. We're like, yeah, but you gave us useless information, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Night. Like, night.
Night.